But I'd ask you to think back, and just think back where we were 3 years ago, 2008. There were lines around the block when it came to voting and election day. And we all were so proud, no matter what our political leanings, no matter what our ethnicity, we were so proud to stand up and support the gentleman who's in the White House today as our president. I ask you to think back to that because I want you to think again about 2009. I want you to think about 2010. We did such a good job in 2008, working extra hard, calling on our own phones, many of us, going door knocking. Some of us probably never did door knocking for anything but something for themselves in their life. But we went out and knocked on doors for a man, quite honestly, that none of us knew personally, but we felt we did. Then in 2009, we took a step back. In 2010, we took another step back. So here we are. It's 2011. We've had this great momentous day, an occasion of what we could have done as a people, and we came together, white, black, Protestants, Catholics, we all came together and said, this is our country, and this is what's important. And then we walked away. And when you walk away from elections, you have consequences. Now, many people have heard me say this. Both my parents are in the room today, my mother and father, who taught me this since I was like, as Reva said, like this little guy here, a little bigger now. She says to me all the time, they say to me all the time, if you observe, you get the government you deserve. And that's what we did. In 2009, we observed. And then we went from having a Democratic governor with a strong and robust Democratic legislature to something else. And I'm in the house of the Lord, so I'm going to be kind, to something else. And because we got something else, that's where priorities come in. And you look at this administration and those who are supporting them, their priorities. And I tell you what, their priorities aren't much like anybody in this room. They believe a lot in the have and have mores, but not as much in us as the middle class backbone of this country. So what I'm asking of you is not to do something because of me. Not to do something because of Herb or Gail or Sander or Michelle who's not here or Marianne, etc. Don't do it because of me. Don't do it because of any of us. Do it because of yourselves. Do it, think back to where we were, that vision in 2008 and what it meant for us. Then we can come together. Do it for that reason. Do it for all of us that had that sort of naivety when we all got started in government or got started in politics that thought we could all make a difference. Do it because of that. Because when we decided that time in 2008, you know what? Maybe we can make a difference. We did it. We all did it. So let's not go back to where we walk away from what we can accomplish as a group. Growing up here in this town, growing up just down the street from this very church means the world to me. The ability to stand before you as one of the Democratic candidates for state office means more to me than anything I could ever tell you. I know for a fact I've worked as hard as I can. And if you don't believe me, Gina Reed will tell you in the back, because me and Gina go knocking all the time. One small commercial, if you know somebody in Delran and you live in Delran, tell them to vote for that woman, Gina Reed. She's worked her tail off. She deserves it. She has worked as hard as any person I know to represent the people and comes from such a good point. Please make sure you tell your friends there. And don't forget my boy Andre Daniels here, up in West Hampton. This is another guy who, when it comes to door knocking and meeting people, is in it for the right reasons. Now I can go around the room and point everybody out, because this is family in this room. But it's not enough for this group here to say, you know what, Troy, you got my vote. I need you to go out and say, you know what, I want you to vote for our Democratic team and take it wherever you need to take it. To the folks who aren't in this room, and let them know that's what's important. Because elections have consequences. And I will tell you, if anyone's happy with the state of New Jersey and how it's going right now, if anyone's happy when our teachers, the people we trust to educate the young children in this room, are being vilified, if people think that's the best way to go about, if people think the folks who run into harm's way, when there's calamity and there's buildings going down and people are shooting, there are men and women who run headfirst into that. When all of a sudden those individuals are being pointed out to be greedy, and we had this whole thing where we're pitting neighbor against neighbor, I'm not standing for it. Now I'm asking you not to stand for it either. But it's not just for this room. It can't be when the mics are off and the lights are out that we leave here with a good feeling. You got to be ambassadors. I've knocked on 4,600 doors. 4,600 doors. And I will tell you, I'd be willing to knock on 4,600 more, but I need some help. I need some help. I can't be everywhere. Herb Conaway can't be everywhere. Gail Cook can't be everywhere. But we need your help. We need you to take this message that when they talk about taking back their country or their state or taking back this district, who are they taking it back from? You know? They're not taking it back from, again, the people in this room, those middle-class folks who've been the backbone of our society that have helped make sure that whether the tide rises, all boats rise. They're not taking it back from them. They're trying to give it back to the haves and have-mores, and I'm not going to stand for it. I'm going to ask you to stand with me. I'm going to ask you to be with me, not just today, but every day until we get to November 8th. And I promise you, if we do this together, we won't be embarrassed about our effort. We won't have to look in the mirror and cower our eyes and look down. We will be proud of what we've done. And we can do this together. And I thank you so much for your attention. I thank everyone in this room, for there have been volunteers in this room since day one who've been with us. And I thank you for it. I ask you to stay with us for 10 more days, because I know we can do this. And I need your help. Now I gotta say one last thing, or else I'm gonna get in trouble, because my wife just walked in the room, and if I don't acknowledge her, I will never eat again. My wife, my daughter, my wife, my son, my daughter. Isabel, raise your hand, Izzy. Raise your hand, Izzy. There you go, there you go, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I thank you for your attention. I really do. It means the world to me. Let's just keep out there and keep fighting. And let's not forget what 08 meant for us. And let's make this November 2011 the same feeling. Thank you so much.